Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Welcome. I want to come on and share with you some of what I've been doing during this stay-at-home quarantine time. A little bit of planning. I love geraniums. A little bit of cooking. Yep, it's Mother's Day, but I'm cooking and I'm happy to do it. I took out my pasta maker, and on the menu is fettuccine, and it just feels good to make something that's homemade and just special. You know, I kind of like the idea that I'm not going to be doing the normal Mother's Day brunch. It's always a great treat. But I really have to say I enjoyed preparing dinner that we're going to have tomorrow for Mother's Day. And it happens to be something that my mom really likes, and that's pasta. So I made quite a bit, and I put some in the freezer, and the rest is waiting in the refrigerator for tomorrow. So we like chicken fettuccine alfredo, so that's what's on the menu. Plus, also have been doing so much experimenting and just loving sourdough adventures, and this happens to be one bread that I made, and it was just so light and delicious, and you know, I'm having really good luck with it. Some good, some not so good. So I have been cooking, baking, enjoying reading cookbooks, and doing a little bit of planting outside, and even experimenting with some crazy hairstyles, which those videos will be coming up soon, so I can share that with you. But look at the curl that I discovered. Just having lots of fun, keeping myself busy so that I don't feel bored. And of course, I love spending the mornings in devotion, and then just reading, or taking that time during the day and just sneak a peek and do a little catching up with some fun books. So grab a cup of coffee and stay for the ride. Hello, hi, and good evening. It is Friday night. I'm really not sure when this is going to get up and posted. I hope soon. Hello, welcome. I hope you are all well and safe. It's been a little bit. I am working on a combination of videos, editing. I just don't seem to be hitting the mark as far as getting them out, because it's just been a time. But anyways, I hope you're doing well. If you're new to my channel, hello. This is Aging Gracefully. My name is Marianne, and I welcome you. And to my returning subscribers, hello. So a couple of things I just started to think about today. I did get up, get out, put makeup on, and put on a little nicer pair of yoga pants. I mean, I don't know. I've just been living in yoga pants and cutoffs and anything that's comfy and just appropriate for being at home. But it does feel good sometimes to just go ahead and, sorry, I have to adjust here. it does feel good sometimes to just go ahead and get dressed again and put on some makeup and just feel good about the day. So I thought I would come on and share with you what I have been up to, what I've been doing home during this time period. So we're at the stage right now where most states are in the process of starting to open the doors and making way for us to come back out into our environment. And some places have restrictions, some don't. It's a very, to me, it's a very confusing time right now, and still a time of great concern. So for me, I'm still pretty content with wanting to just secure my environment at home. I try to have delivery brought in for groceries. There are times that I have to go out to the store. Like I said, I don't want to get into big discussions about should we, shouldn't we. I'm just doing what, our governor of our state is asking us to do, and I'm paying attention and listening to the authorities and what they're saying, and I'm just trying to be smart for myself. And I hope that you all are doing the same. I don't want to be a burden to the medical field, and I want to be respectful and be appreciative of all of their efforts and everything that they've done during this time. And so I just want to try to do whatever I can do to make things easy and better. So with that being said, I'm still pretty much just at home, and I am in a situation at home that I have to be really safeguarding because my mom's health is at issue, and so just like a lot of extra caution there. So I thought what I would do is just share with you basically how I've been just pulling through the days, trying to find the joy in them, and really what's just been keeping me going. I happened to run into someone I knew at the store, and as you're trying to talk through your masks, it's really difficult, so everything is just very brief and just a few words exchanged, and it's so nice to see you and hope we can get back to our routine. And she had just said, yes, she's very missing everybody and everything, and she's just very bored, and and I think I've done a really good job at just trying not to be bored. I have had my days where I just have been down. It just gets to me. But I just try to focus on something else, get my mind on something that I want to do, that I like to do, and that, has been challenging. So one of the things that I thought I would share these with you because I think we're still going to be kind of in the in mode pretty much through the summer. And I know I don't want to run out anywhere where there's crowds and crowds of people. I'm not, I would love to go, out for dinner, but I just don't have the desire to put that on my priority list. I'm just still a little just not sure. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. And but I do have to get out and do certain things, and I don't step out in fear. I just go and do what I have to do and just try to keep my wits about me. But I just thought I'd share with you some of how I've been passing the time. So first and foremost, I start my mornings in devotion. That's my lifesaver. And because it's so important to me and is just really what gives me that security and directs me and allows me to have that time every day, especially, I mean, it's all day for me just to communicate with God, but in the mornings especially, it's just been such a very serene and peaceful part of my day. And when I get sidetracked and find myself getting into things and doing other things when I get up and, oh gosh, I forgot, I have to do this, I have to do that. Things just don't seem to keep my insides calm. Things don't go as smoothly as they can. When I start my day off in the morning, communicating in devotions with God, it is just a special and it's a beautiful time, and it has just helped me survive through the difficulties of every day, and especially those days where there is a lot of fear and uncertainty, but so much reassurance. And I spend that time first thing in the morning, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Whether we're in a pandemic situation or not, this is it for me. So I do that. That's probably the best book I could ever recommend to anybody or have, and it's that's it. That's priority for me. But I also decided that I was going to do a little bit of experimenting with different recipes and foods. And I know I've talked about it before and shared a few things with you. And I am currently working on a video to post my biscotti recipe. I promise. I've been asked and I want to show it and do that. And so I'm working on these things, but I have to do it in spurts, just because of some things going on here at home, and so a little bit here and there, but it'll get done. But so in doing that, I've just spent some of my quiet time, or some of that time you want maybe consider, oh, I'm bored, I need something to, researching and looking up recipes and watching videos, and I've purchased a couple of books that I have really been enjoying and just kind of savoring. I love reading cookbooks, and these are cookbooks. I just love sitting down, most times at the end of the day, sometimes mid-afternoon when I just need to take a break, and just with a good cup of tea or another cup of coffee, and just read the sections or look at the pictures, and especially storybook cookbooks. Oh, I just love it. But I want to share with you these cookbooks that I have just really been enjoying and have filled my day, and even spending a little bit of time, whether it's at night or in the middle of the day or whenever I have a chance, going through has just brought joy to my day, and has just inspired me, and maybe looking at pictures has given me different ideas on decorating, and it's just something that I really enjoy. And I love books. I love the feel of books. I love the smell of books. And I have a really pretty beautiful collection of cookbooks, and I know everything is right at our fingertips electronically, and some think no need for a book, but I can't go without books. If I am drawn to it, some books I do get and look at and pass on, okay, it's just not something I want to keep. It just wasn't quite what I was looking for. And then there's others that I'm just like, oh, love, love. This is a referral book. So anyways, one of the books has been Clara's Kitchen. I know I've talked about this and I've made a couple of recipes, and I have been enjoying just going through this very slowly and reading her story. And she has pictures of her family and some of the recipes and food. This is such a delightful book. There are YouTube videos that are still being posted and shown about her life. She's no longer here, but Clara's Kitchen, and it was a book of her recipes published by her grandson. What an heirloom. What an heirloom she has left. And I am so, so thankful that they have shared this with the world, because this is definitely, if you love cooking, family, and really just going back into the Depression era in time and listening to her stories. And I've watched so many of her videos that are older that have been posted, and just reading the book now, I just hear her voice as I'm reading the words. I mean, it's great book, great book. So Clara's Kitchen, if you're interested or you're a cookbook kind of person that you love to read stories along with it, that's a great book. Another book that I find very interesting, and it's been out for a while. This is From France to the Farm with the Parisian Farm Girl. She has a YouTube channel. She has a podcast. This is a beautifully illustrated book. Love it. I have been just reading the recipes. Just the way the cookbook is put together. Some of it's a little bit hard to read, but I just take a couple of pages at a time and go through it. And she posts pictures of her family in it. It's colorful. It's very exciting to read, and you can learn so much from other people and their experiences in life, and I get a lot of joy out of these types of books. So I've gone through this book cover to cover, but now I love to do that. When I first get a book, I have to skim through the whole entire book, just like I did with Clara's, and then I just love to just look. When I look through it, I see things that just really draw me to it, and then I just have to digest it and just soak myself right into it. And then I kind of go through that with a few things that just sort of pop out, and then I start from the very beginning. And again, I just sit back and enjoy it. I just love doing that type of reading. A new book that I just recently acquired and just learning about, did some research on this, is Einkorn Recipes for Nature's Original Wheat. I have learned a lot about this wheat, and I decided that this book was well worth purchasing and adding to my cookbook library. I told you in a prior video that I am having a love relationship with sourdough starter. I think I've adapted it into my life as my, let's say, my new child. It's something that has to be fed frequently and taken care of, and it just produces beautiful, beautiful recipes. Delicious, flavorful, simple, easy. Some things fail, but that's with anything. So I have made pizza shells and pizza with it. I've made delicious bread, delicious sourdough bread. Made great pancakes with fruit added to it, like blueberries, and the pancakes are just so, oh my gosh, so delicious. And so I started to hear about actually einkorn flour from Parisian Farm Girl, because she does a lot, and that's where I first heard about it. And I was, wow, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what kind of wheat that is. And then I started looking into it, and right now it's kind of difficult to be able to get some einkorn flour, and I just use up the last little bit that I had. It's different. It feels different, it looks different, it tastes different, and it is really delicious. And there's a lot of good health benefits with it. So I purchased this einkorn. It's Recipes for Nature's Original Wheat book, and it's by Carla Bartolucci. I think that's how you say her last name. And one of my local stores does carry foods from their company, Jovial Foods, and I have purchased some of those items myself over the course of, whenever I've seen it. There's all kinds of recipes in this particular book, from savory to desserts to traditional cream puffs and different types of breads and sourdough, and just such a great book. And like I said, this one's kind of new, and I was really impressed with what it had to offer, because I am definitely into this sourdough bread making and just learning about exploring that. So that's been fun. Another book that I am currently reading, and I pretty much do sit down with it right before bed, is Outlanders. I know I'm late to get on that bus, but it's pretty much a fine print book, so I'm reading it very slowly, and I am enjoying it. It's very different, and it's very different from anything that I've really ever been interested in reading, but I really like it. So it's one of those books that just kind of pulls you in, and I'll be reading that probably pretty much throughout this summer, because my eyes I get too tired, and I just can't sit down and just devour it. But sometimes I get to certain parts and I just can't put it down, and then my eyes get super tired. But then that's when I like to spend a few minutes in time with recipes, and also trialing them, putting them on my list to try them out. And I've been doing a little bit of planting some herbs just in pots and containers, because I don't have a garden. When I lived in Illinois, and of course at that time working full time, I had a really beautiful raised bed garden. We had in our prior house, we made our whole entire backyard, we turned it into a perennial garden and flowers and herbs and growing garden, and my husband and I really miss that, and someday hopefully we can get back to that. And I'm looking into right now trying to get a raised bed little garden constructed, and because I miss my herbs. I love cooking with fresh herbs. There's like nothing like it. It's awesome. And I just miss those scents for the summer. And so I went out and bought a few herbs, and I got some a ridiculously low reduced price because they were like practically like I'm not gonna make it, and I got them marked down a little bit and bought a few and stuck them in some pots, and just put a few together in a container. And so I'm kind of nursing them right now as they grow, and hopefully this will be a great place to get them, on their way, and then maybe I can transplant them into a raised bed that I hope I can have constructed within the next month or so. We'll see. So, I think sometimes it's the little things that we overlook, and we're looking at, well, we focus on, I miss doing this, and I miss that, and I miss this, and I miss that. And it's true, we do miss those things, and it's okay, but we still have to be able to find the joy and the beauty in our everyday life. I have spent some time now doing some deep cleaning. That doesn't sound like that, it's a blast, and I certainly can't do it every day because it just, at my age, hurts. It just hurts. But I was inspired by listening to a podcast, and they were talking about, just a clean house and the feeling that you get after, your kitchen gets all cleaned and tidied up, and cleaning and scrubbing your floors, getting down on your hands and knees and really scrubbing your floors. And I was like, oh no, I don't do that. I use my mop and my spin bucket. Love it. It's good. But for some reason, I just got inspired after I listened to this podcast, and I thought, that's true. I have not gotten down on my hands and knees and scrubbed my floors. And I have, all wood. I don't have carpet. I have vinyl laid floors. That it's that wood whatever. But I just thought, I'm going to do this. So I hauled all the rugs out, gave them all a good shake and a good beating outside, and came in, vacuumed everything, and got down on my hands and knees. Didn't take long for me to figure out, I've got to go get the garden pad, and put my knees on them and started scrubbing away with a scrub brush. And let me just say, it's a whole new world down there on your hands and knees on looking at that floor. I found things that I'm like scraping away with my finger, like, what is that? Oh my gosh, it's phloem, or it's dried on frosting from decorating Christmas gingerbread house under the table, or specks of hardened clay. I mean, Play-Doh, and all kinds of things. Like, oh my gosh. And then when it was finished, the feel of walking across it in my bare feet, it was just, and looking at it, and it smelled so good. I dropped a few little drops of my orange essence oil in it, and just mixed it up, and it felt good. It looked so good. And let me tell you, by the next morning, honestly, I just could not move. I mean, my shoulders, my elbows, my fingers, my ankles, my knees, and that motion of just scrubbing. But the next day, I continued on, cleaned out, did the same thing in the bathrooms, master bath, and down the long hallway, and I still have one little section in the living room and another 2 bathrooms to go, but I'll get there. I just thought I'll just break it up. It's not one of those things that you want to spend all day doing and doing every day, but it sure is a good feeling. It's just, a sense of accomplishment that your house is clean. And one day I spent just opening the windows and just taking the vacuum inside the windows and just knocking out the outside dirt that gets, filtered in, and just cleaning blinds and just tidying my house, and really seriously being able to find joy in doing that, because it is my house, it is a gift, and it's my responsibility to take care of it. And I have time to do that now. And because I'm not finding myself like before, oh, I have to run here, I have to go there, I've got this appointment, I've got that. It's much calmer in many sense. I mean, in many ways, it's much more peaceful. And I've just always loved being at home and taking care of my house. But I just think I've just come to a new appreciation for sometimes how we get into the drudgery of cooking and cleaning and all of that stuff. So, finding joy in just pouring a cup of coffee and sitting down with maybe a good book, something that inspires us, picking up plants that maybe you haven't planted before, or taking care of some things out in nature, and maybe it's not to the degree or to the level that you would like it to be, but it's just something, and it's something little. And I think that's what's important, is just to find that joy in letting things re-spark that interest for you. So I just wanted to share a few of those thoughts with you. I'm going to try my best to continue on with videos on a more regular and routine basis, but like I said, there's just, sometimes it's just not possible. But I am in the midst of working on several things, so I hope to get them out. And until my next video, I hope I can get this out right away. I hope you have a great Mother's Day. I hope it's special. I hope you find something that you can delight in, and something that will bring peace and happiness to you. So until my next video, be kind, be humble, and age gracefully. Bye.